Good afternoon, good morning. I wanted to give you a quick video rundown of the proposed program we have for our law enforcement officers. We call it the Urban Samurai Program. It is tools for today's law enforcement. We're using Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as a foundational art for our police officers. Now, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu focuses on grappling, closing the distance, taking somebody to the ground, learning how to control them while you're on the ground, and then eventually subduing them with some type of joint lock or hold. I want to quickly touch upon the benefits of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training, particularly for law enforcement officers. One, with consistent training, it's going to improve their overall physical conditioning, strength, speed, stamina, endurance. All these things will improve with consistent training. They're going to learn how to subdue bigger and stronger opponents using skill, technique, and the concepts of leverage to use their opponent's force against them and bring them to the ground. Now we'll be learning how to avoid strikes, both avoiding strikes from suspects or assailants throwing punches and kicks at us, also avoiding punches and kicks in the sense that we're not going to be punching or kicking our suspects so that we don't have to worry about concussions or lacerations or anything that comes from striking. And because they're going to have this great skill, they're going to be gaining great confidence, and because they're training with each other, they're going to be building camaraderie amongst the group. While we're learning how to train our bodies and learn all these techniques to defend ourselves out on the street, we also need to train our minds. And all of our training is rooted in an ancient code of conduct used by the samurai, which they call Bushido. So learning how to conduct ourselves with integrity, respect, learning how to channel heroic courage in times of need, making sure that we show compassion, meaning we don't overuse our force when we don't have to, conducting ourselves with honesty, sincerity, and understanding our duty and loyalty to the community as being police officers. And what holds all this together is honor. We propose a 3-phase training program. Phase 1 is a 2-day intensive training, about 10 hours of training on a weekend, focused on specific situations. Phase 2 will take those same officers, or we can add other officers to the mix, and do a 6-month training course utilizing our beginner curriculum. Phase 3 will be continuing education past that, just making sure that we train 2 to 3 days a week using our full curriculum in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Let's talk about Phase 1, our 2-day intensive training. We're learning how to close the distance, clinch our opponents, take them to the ground, pin them. We gotta learn how to roll them over so we can put cuffs on them. And as we train and we do these things, we also have to keep in mind gun retention, making sure that in grappling situations, nobody reaches for our guns, but also in case they are successful in grabbing our gun, how to make sure that we retain our weapon. In addition to one-on-one situations, we'll also be doing 2-on-1 officer situations. Here's an example.
I don't want to shell and cover and take my chance of getting hit, but my partner's coming, maybe just arrived or came in, and he's coming in from the back and I can see him, and he's getting up, and I'm going to say, I got low. So now I went low after my partner attacked high.
So that's just an example of during a 2-on-1 training. We'll be focusing on that as well on Phase 2. And when we move into Phase 2, it's going to be 6 months training, kind of a proof of concept. We'll be focusing on core movements, control positions, standing survival, ground survival, using basics of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to learn how to get up off the ground and learn how to defend ourselves. So we're going to touch upon the curriculum real quick. Here's a quick glimpse of our 6-month defensive tactics curriculum, focusing first on our core safety and escape movements, learning how to break fall, do a forward roll, do a side roll. Don't worry if you don't understand what these are, because we're going to be going over them in great detail over 6 months. Now, we're also focusing on control positions, the side control, north-south, belly mount, back mount, learning how to escape these positions in our standing survival and escape series. Also learning how to survive on the ground and learning how to get up safely. We'll also be focusing on taking our opponents down with a 1-on-1 and 2-on-1 situation, just like we did in the defensive tactics course, but now it's going to be the expanded curriculum, and also learning these basic ground tactics and learning how to defend ourselves when we're on the ground. And that's going to be Phase 2. Moving into Phase 3 after 6 months, we now will talk about maintenance, training 2 to 3 days a week under our full Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu curriculum. Here's a picture of training at our school. We have probably over 100 people in this picture. We have 10,000 square foot facility, so we can accommodate everyone And now being COVID, we are making sure that everything is compliant in the sense that we're all exhibiting social distancing and making sure that everybody's going to be safe. So once again, we have a 3-phase program. We can start with our 2-day intensive training and make that our proof of concept to see how everything works. I want to thank you very much for your time. Please feel free to call me, email me if you have any questions, and we look forward to working with you.